Hello.
Hi, I'm Nerdy and Quirky.
Hey, I'm timh.
Hi, I'm Mike from Idea Channel.
And you're watching St. Elmo's Fire.
You're watching St. Elmo's Fire.
You are watching St. Elmo's Fire.
And I like this channel for a lot of reasons. Number one is it makes me feel good that I don't have a catchphrase also.
Hello, St. Elmo's Fire. As you can tell by the gray speckled walls behind me, I am in an airport. I'm on my way to Anaheim for the 5th annual VidCon, which is basically the largest online video conference / convention in the world. There's going to be panels talking about YouTube culture and the industry, Q&As with your favorite content creators, photo opportunities and signings, but what I'm probably most looking forward to is meeting online video enthusiasts like myself. There's this really great group called the Lone Wolves. I'll put their link in the doobly-doo. Their mission is to provide opportunities for people like myself to meet other online video enthusiasts and just nerd out over online video, because typically people who go to these kinds of conventions go alone. It's through the Lone Wolves that I got in touch with my roommates that I'm staying with in Anaheim. So why don't we go meet my roommates and let's explore Anaheim, okay?
My first 2 days in Anaheim were spent bonding with my hotel roommates, Jackie, Gabby, Holly, Natalie, Kayla, Katie, and Itzel. My first night there we went to the Cheesecake Factory for dinner, and on our way there we ran into UK YouTubers, Dan, Phil, Louise, Joe, and Marcus. Full story in the description below. We spent the following day at Huntington Beach, because if you're in California, why not?
Gorgeous.
On Thursday, the first official day of VidCon, Itzel and I went to check out the expo hall, which had numerous booths where you could buy merchandise, enter sweepstakes, take photos, and oh my gosh, they're actually playing Quidditch. That's frickin' awesome. The expo hall even had a charging station for your low-battery phone, which was extremely convenient. It was located right next to the signing lines, which looked too long to be worth waiting for. We also attended the 3rd annual Lone Wolves meetup, where the friendly pack leaders had some fun activities for us to do, including a massive game of Ninja. Later, on the main stage, Hannah Hart and Tyler Oakley hosted a variety show that included VidCon founders John and Hank Green, Shay Carl and his family, Troy Sivan, and performances by Teller Ward and the Gregory brothers. Friday was my first day of back-to-back panels. My first panel that morning, about upping your production values, featured UK filmmakers Charlie McDonnell, timh, Ben Cook, Kieran O'Brien, and Finn Harries, and it was moderated by Jack Harries of jacksgap. The guys had some really interesting perspectives on the rise of quality content on YouTube. It was especially fascinating to hear from Kieran, who, while known for his comedically awkward YouTube persona, is also responsible for much of the beautiful cinematography prevalent in these men's videos. The next panel was the Entertainment and Education panel, where I randomly found myself sitting next to Mike Martin, co-host of How to Adult. The panel featured Dustin of Smarter Every Day, Emily of thebrainscoop, Derek of Veritasium, Mike of pbsideachannel, Mitchell and Gregory of ASAP Science, and John of crashcourse. I think I was most impressed with the fact that a topic like education and online video could pack a room, as seen here in John's Instagram. Link to the education panel in the description below. That afternoon, I attended the ridiculously popular Power of Online Video panel, with panelists Hannah Hart, Tyler Oakley, Josh Sundquist, Sean West of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, John Green, and Jack and Finn Harries. They talked about their successes in using online video to encourage their audiences to care about charitable causes, and I left the panel feeling incredibly inspired. After that panel was the equally popular Guide to Vlogging panel, with panelists Dan and Phil, Fun for Louie, Shay Carl, Olga Kay, Grace Helbig, and I Justine. The panel was moderated by Zay Frank. If you don't know who Zay is, he is the pioneer of the vlogging world. I was a little starstruck to be within screaming distance of this legend. Since everyone on the panel was naturally hilarious and great at bantering, the panel was really entertaining, and that helped distract me from the hunger pains and exhaustion I was starting to feel at that point. VidCon pro tip: pack snacks if you're going to spend all day in panels. My last panel of the day was the Building Communities panel. Moderated by Hank Green, the panel featured Justine, Ben from Sorted Food, Michael Aranda, Charles Trippy, Wheezy Waiter, Jake from Vsauce 3, and Philip DeFranco. They gave some great insights on their relationships with their online communities. Hank noted that, as communities grow, It's beneficial to create smaller communities within the big ones. And one of the small communities he gave a shout out to was the Lone Wolves, which I did not capture on camera, unfortunately. After a long day of panels, I somehow had the energy to make it to John and Hank's Q&A, and thanks to Natalie, I had a seat saved in the very front row. During the Q&A, John and Hank entertained us while bouncing ideas off us on the future of nerdfighteria, and they answered real questions from real nerdfighters.
Tell me if I'm wrong, but don't you still have a punishment to do?
That night, my friends and I stood in line for the main stage concert, where people randomly broke out into song. Once inside, we got to see a number of awesome acts, including Megan Tonjes, Jimmy Wong, the Gregory brothers, Hank Green and the Perfect Strangers, Watsky, and We the Kings. It was crazy cool to be in an arena where people were legitimately rocking out to songs about, like, Pokemon and Harry Potter. Only on YouTube. I started my Saturday with the Women on YouTube panel, moderated by Lacey Green. On the panel were Rosianna, Akila of Smoothie Freak, Lex Croucher, Haley G. Hoover, Emily Graslie, and Hartbeat. I was incredibly impressed as these women addressed the issues they face as female creators. They also took questions from the audience, and I was extremely pleased to see that several men were among the attendees, listening intently. My next event was the Q&A for How to Adult, a life skills show hosted by Mike Martin and Emma Mills. The environment was really relaxed as they shared their adulting experiences and took questions and suggestions from the audience.
What's really cool about VidCon is just like running to people that you meet and you get to know. One of them is, here's Andrew.
Hi.
Hi. We just came for the How to Adult panel, so Andrew's pretty cool, I think.
That afternoon, I attended a panel on how to make your videos look and sound good. Moderated by Michael Aranda, the panel featured Charlie McDonnell, Brandon of Freddie W., Tessa Violet, Zach of Portal A, and Hannah and Hilly of The Hillywood Show. They gave some fantastic tips on, like, lighting your video and improving the audio quality, which I'm very excited to use in future videos. My last event of the day was Intermix, a screening of the latest films from creators who are paving the way for online filmmakers, both on and off YouTube. After the screening, some of the filmmakers were present to share their creative process and their views on the online video industry. I was genuinely happy to see audience members ask smart and engaging questions about filmmaking for the online world. That evening, my roommates and I went to downtown Disney to watch the fireworks. We also had one last group dinner at IHOP, where we got equally silly and sentimental, and then returned to the hotel, high on pancake syrup and High School Musical sing-alongs. Sunday was VidCon's annual Disney Day. I spent most of the day actually enjoying the rides instead of filming them, so here's a montage. Hope that's cool.
Sometimes the world looks perfect, nothing to rearrange. Sometimes you just get a feeling like you need some kind of change. No matter what the odds are this time, nothing's gonna stand in my way. There's flame in my heart like a long lost friend, 'cause every dark street light at the end, standing tall on the wings of my dreams, rise and fall on the wings of my dreams. Rain and thunder, the wind and haze, I'm bound for better days. It's my life, my dreams, nothing's gonna stop me now. It's my life, my dreams, nothing's gonna stop me now.
By far my favorite part of Disney was the World of Color show. Imagine all your favorite Disney scenes projected onto water, set to Disney songs. There's no other word to describe it than magical. On Monday, like the Fellowship of the Ring, my roommates and I parted ways. I wasn't ready to go home, and apparently neither was my plane, because my flight was unexpectedly diverted to Minneapolis for the evening. It was alright though. I ended up staying with a friend and her 2 cats. I did eventually fly home the next morning. During my time in and out of airports, and in and out of planes, I had a lot of time to reflect on my VidCon experience. The brilliant thing about VidCon is how successful it is in bringing together people who share a love of online video. I loved how easy it was to walk through the convention center, bump into your favorite content creators, and just chat with them. The wall between creator and viewer, so often manifested in the form of a computer screen, wasn't there. Talking to creators really helped enforce the idea that these aren't idols we should be placing on a pedestal. They're people too. It was also really liberating to talk about YouTube with fellow viewers, to put faces to usernames and avatars, to talk with people who speak the same language as you, in a physical space rather than just internet space, was a surreal experience. Though VidCon is a convention for us internet folk, I tried as much as possible to stay off the internet and engage with the events that were happening right in front of me, rather than just keep my head down while scrolling through social media on my phone. And yet, there were still plenty of times when I had a screen in front of my face, while trying to text a friend, take a photo, or film a panel. In doing so, I was creating a barrier that prevented me from fully engaging with the people in front of me. And that's what VidCon is really about. Not collecting selfies with your favorite creators, but making physical, meaningful connections about things you love with people you like in a way that the internet can't. That said, though, I am thankful that we have the internet to make things like VidCon a reality. The internet gets a bad rap for making people less social, but it doesn't have to. From what I've seen at VidCon, it can bring people together and make those connections tangible. The internet shouldn't replace real-life human interaction, but in cases like VidCon, it can enhance it.
Cheers.
The smile on your face is all that I need. You could be my wine, I'll be your wish. You know that I'll be your bulletproof vest. 'Cause I got you upside down. You got me completely inside out. You're coming crazy, baby, you save me. If you can hear this microphone, put your hands up.